Welcome back to Combust Astrology. My name's Liv. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm going to cover the new moon in Gemini. It's going to be on the 6th of June, 8:37:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this new moon in Gemini is it's like it's like if you went back in time, even like in the early 2000s, and you gave someone that was using Windows XP, Windows 11, and said, "Here, have fun." It's a little overwhelming for that person, but at the same time, it's like, yo, this is it. And that person would probably try to test everything they probably could that they've already tested in the past. And while at the same time that they're doing that, they're getting insane downloads. That's in the most TLDR gist I could possibly give this new moon is all about. Specifically, I'm focusing on, obviously, this chart doesn't have much, but I'm focusing on the air, the water, and of course, keeping in mind the fire that we still have going on here. So, when it comes to the air specifically, uh, what is what is in Gemini? We have Jupiter, Mercury, Moon, Sun, Venus. All right. So, if this was an example, a day chart, we got a lot going on here that's really, really, really cool. But all of the honestly the good feel joy things. I think Mercury is because um it's almost near the sun. That could be probably a little bit of too much, but the sun and moon and Mercury and this triplicity of these placements is like it's really good. It's really good to really sit down and ponder. Um, I think this chart could have been better if Mars was in Taurus, because then you could at least slow down enough to like really think it. But Venus in Gemini, really close to this ascendant, but still being in the 12th. This is the contacts, the people that you're now meeting, the group of friends that's expanding, that's changing, the discussions that you're having with people, the portal to actually have so many new ideas and thoughts come in are the moon and Jupiter, because moon holds memory. And yes, Mercury is intellect and speaking, yada yada, but like to really feel something about how you're going to do something, that all comes from the moon. The passion you have. We're 80% water. The moon quite literally affects the tides. It affects us in the cycles of the moon phases, like it would, um, like a woman going through a menstrual cycle is affected by the cycles of what uh, FSH and LH are doing, releasing hormones. Like that's in essence the same thing that the moon does for you here. And so, with the moon being this high processing computer right next to the sun, but it's all in the 12th house based upon my chart location and time anyway. This trine to Pluto is the person that comes in from another dimension and just gives you a beautiful new XYZ laptop with Windows 10 on it while you're already sitting here and pondering. Like imagine you're stuck in a holding cell and you have nothing to do but think, and then a guard comes in and just slips in like a laptop. All of a sudden, hey, I got a laptop. It's got business Wi-Fi. I'm actually chilling. Like, let me catch up on the world. Let me really kind of go into what it is I can do to build myself an infrastructure out of this, right? The only thing here that would draw concern for you to be careful about, obviously, is just like the man that gets a new Windows 10 computer back in 2000s, are you gonna sleep? Are you gonna actually take the time to really relax. You know, this square from the ninth to 12th is like, hey, maybe I'm having too much. Maybe I'm actually not able to sleep anymore because there's just so much thinking that this is like a kid that his parents are gone and he finally gets the cookie jar. And we know Mercurials are good for that, Virgo and Gemini, with them sweets. So Saturn here with the Venus is maybe like, hey, I'm disillusioned to the idea that maybe too many contacts is a thing. But at the same time, I get it. You're not going to have this again. And in fact, with the way that everything is opening up, this is probably going to be a sort of seed since it is a new moon. And a lot of people can say manifestation, but it is a new moon. And we're going to see the waxing until we are in the Sag um, full moon. And then, oh, well, sorry, it's going to start a new cycle. But the opposition to the now waning of what we are now at to get this full, right, where it would be, whoops, not full. New, new, and then full for the opposition. But we've completed a cycle, but we're also starting a new cycle with Jupiter. Like, this is cool. This is really, really cool. And if you have like things opposing Sag, that's also something to consider. So use this time and really just dig into something. Um, I said from the start of when I first started posting these, out of like requests from people wanting to see my perspective, you have a lot of firsts since 2020, but now that we're in the air triplicity, this really is one of those firsts. And yeah, start something. Uh, Whatever it might be, hopefully it's something that actually gives you peace of mind over time, right? That is the goal, peace of mind over time, to not overdo it and just remember that slow and steady wins the race, or else you will lose yourself and life will become all about this one thing. That could be very difficult. The anaretic degree of Neptune is still here, obviously. I would definitely look at this with this chart and just say like, we're leaving an age, we're leaving an era where we're now going into the activation of it. So, Neptune into Aries with this chart and the Uranus being in Taurus is like, hey, we are in the fourth quarter and we're planning for overtime with all this. And I need you guys just to finish the last 4 minutes on the clock. So that way, when overtime comes in, we have a brand new setup, a brand new game plan, and we're about to tackle this as if we just started the game. Like we haven't played 4 quarters. And this is how I feel about this, right? We're unveiling that strategy where everyone thinks we're down and out, and then we just got the new download, the new drip, the new unlock, and it's hitting the servers at rates of unprecedented speed. So that's just about it for the new moon. Thank you for watching, and peace and blessings.